Hi, my name is Josh Orth, and I'm currently a senior at Lake Ridge High School. And my side hustle is that I resell shoes and clothes. And in this video, I will be teaching you guys about how I became one of the most trusted sellers on sneaker Twitter. The concept of reselling was introduced to me by my father a few years back. I had this one Lego set, and it turns out it went for a lot of money. So what I did is when I went on eBay, took a few pictures of the set I had, listed the item, and then after a few weeks the item actually sold, and I made a pretty good amount of profit actually. After the sale, I was hooked, and I frantically searched for something else where I can make money on, and that's when I stumbled upon shoes. And it turns out some shoes have a resale market to them, and it could be very profitable, it turns out. What I like about my side hustle is that I could do it from my room, and the only real commute I have would be to go to the post office to drop off latest sales or whatnot. And the majority of the work is when I have to package and ship items, as well as when I have to input sales into an organized spreadsheet that keeps track of profit and expenses. I sell shoes, clothing, and basically anything that has a potential to yield profit. And some of the most popular brands I buy from would be Nike and Supreme. In addition to reselling, another revenue stream that I have would be my photography business. Over the last summer, I started doing senior portraits, and that business turned out to be pretty successful. I sell to basically about anyone. What's cool about the sneaker market is that there are sneaker heads who are both old and young. However, in this day and age, I feel like the markets are comprised of more of the youth, and kids these days all want to get the latest Supreme items to flex in front of their classmates or whatnot. I became popular on Twitter by selling to as many people as possible, and doing so helped me build a reputation. By being a reliable seller of authentic items, more and more people came to follow me and trust me, to the point where I have over 400 people willing to vouch for my reputation. And in addition to Twitter, I utilize other reselling apps such as Grailed, StockX, and Goat. Determining what to buy can only come from experience. You kind of have to follow the hype of pop culture and be able to predict where that is heading. For example, when Kanye West signed with Adidas a few years back, there was a huge amount of hype that shifted from Nike to Adidas. And Adidas tried to take advantage of this by oversaturating the market, and ultimately this led to their crash. As a reseller, I had to adapt to this by selling off all the Adidas shoes I had in my inventory. And then next, all I had to do was wait until the next hype wave, which turned out to be Nike's comeback. Determining the price for an item depends on what type of item it is. For example, let's say Nike and Travis Scott did a shoe together. That item would be worth significantly more, as there are two markets coming together on one item. As sometimes designers release pictures or release dates to their new collections, and as well as sneaker news pages releasing retail prices, where to get items, and other information that could be useful. One of my favorite sneaker pages would be called Just Fresh Kicks. You can find them on Instagram and Twitter. With reselling, there is no set amount of money to be made. At times you can be forced to sell an item for a loss, but on the other hand, you can make thousands of dollars from just a single shoe. Reselling begins with starting money. Having capital would be one of the most important things in flipping shoes. What a beginner could do is that they could go to outlets or wait for a sale on, let's say, Nike, and buy heavily discounted items. From there, they could list those items on, let's say, StockX or Goat, and after racking enough money, they could start investing into the bigger releases. One thing I would recommend would be to download the Nike Sneakers app, as the Sneakers app is the most legit place you could buy from, and it carries all of the hype releases from Nike and their collaborations. And hopefully with this video, you can get a better sense of how sneaker reselling works, and maybe you could enter a hobby as well. I just want to shout out College Hustle for inviting me to the show. If anyone has any business inquiries or questions, you can contact me through my Twitter at musics_waffles. And thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe.